Have I ever mentioned just how much I love the Mega Man franchise? Because I do. I really, really do. Mega Man was one of my two favorite franchises growing up, and getting older has only made it better. The primary reason for this is that as a kid, I just saw the franchise as an awesome robot shooting the crap out of other awesome robots, and it was awesome. However, as I got older, I started to pick up on themes within the franchise. And there is one very specific theme that is featured throughout both the Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero series. That theme is classist inequality, based on race. And holy crap is this series dripping with it. Now if you'll remember, I released a video a month or two ago when I talked about the laws of Isaac Asimov in relation to the Mega Man Classic series. Well, things get a little bit more hairy in the Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero series. Now, the Mega Man X series doesn't really get into this theme all that much, beyond, very small nods, until Mega Man X3, and it doesn't really get into it until Mega Man X4. And prior to those games, the entire Mega Man franchise had a pretty formulaic plot. Bad guy, good guy. Bad guy, good guys. Bad guy. Wait a second. Now, these guys are the villains in Mega Man X4, and in Mega Man X4, you play as the role of Mega Man X, or Zero if you're awesome. Now, these guys are members of a Reploid peacekeeping group known as the Maverick Hunters. And the stated mission of the Maverick Hunters is to hunt down any robots who have gone against the intentions of human society, or Mavericks, as they're called in the games. Now, ultimately, this all plays out as the standard paradigm of good guy versus bad guy in most of the Mega Man X games. But Mega Man X4 shifts that paradigm just ever so slightly by pitting the player up against a group known as the Repliforce. Now, as a kid, I thought nothing of this, but as I got older, I started paying more attention to the plot. You see, Mega Man X4 starts out with an attack on a floating structure known as the Sky Lagoon, which causes it to plummet to the ground and crash into a populated city below. The attack was carried out by a Maverick named Magma Dragoon, who, prior to this, had been a Maverick Hunter. However, upon making it to the devastated city, X or Zero comments on the horror of what just happened and sets off to find the one responsible. Instead of finding the one responsible, however, because they totally let him go earlier on in the level thinking he was one of them, they find the Colonel of the Repliforce, known only as the Colonel. Now, something that is very important to note here is that the Repliforce is another peacekeeping organization much like the Maverick Hunters. In fact, their goals are pretty much identical. And the Colonel was there only to find his sister, Iris. And he tells X and Zero exactly that. But the humans, and by extension the Maverick Hunters, are having none of it. Without even so much as a trial, the entire Repliforce is declared to be a group of Mavericks, and the Maverick Hunters are sent to exterminate them. The question is, why? Why is this happening? I mean, the Reploids are essentially human. They're human in every way that counts. They think, they feel, they emote. Hell, they even love. The only difference between human and Reploid is that humans are flesh and blood and Reploids are metal and circuits. However, Asimov's laws, upon which the entirety of roboethics is based, is built on a flawed philosophical framework known as deontology. According to deontology, there is an absolute authority, usually God, that dictates morality. However, this framework has also been used by many people to propose how to deal with humanoid robots if we ever create them. Essentially, the way it goes is, since we are their creators, we can decide whatever we want for them. A Reploid is no more valuable than a toaster. Whatever humans do to Reploids is right, even if that is to order other Reploids to commit a mass slaughter of perfectly innocent Reploids. And that's what Mega Man X4 is about. Humanity simply arbitrarily deciding that the Repliforce has to be destroyed. And the Repliforce fought back, only to be crushed under the might of an oppressive species that sees itself as lord over the Reploids. But that's not the end of this. No. That is only the beginning. After years of what became known as the Reploid Rebellions, mankind just decided that they're done with this crap. And Mega Man X helped them build a city known as Neo Arcadia for humanity to live in as a way to escape the constant, tiring rebellions from these upstart machines that don't seem to understand their place. This is where the Mega Man Zero series comes in, and where mankind really shows itself to be racist when it comes to Reploids. Mega Man Zero takes place a few hundred years after Mega Man X, and the Reploids are being exterminated at an alarming rate by Neo Arcadia. These Reploids are killed upon nothing more than a suspicion of being Maverick in the first game. In the second game, Reploids are officially labeled as second-class citizens and are shipped off to concentration camps to be executed due to an energy shortage. Reploids, sentient beings, are being murdered simply because of either disobedience or the fact that there's not enough resources to go around. And all of this is because humanity simply can't accept that we are not the masters of this world. Now, in all honesty, I don't know what Keiji Inafune's actual intent was with the Mega Man franchise when it comes to theming, but this allegory is strong. And the sad thing is that this fictional reality is entirely too likely. Mankind can't even accept itself. We dehumanize each other on a daily basis, and so many of these things have led to horrible calamities over the course of humanity's relatively short tenure on this world. People are dying, and have died for thousands of years simply because of their beliefs, their physical capabilities, their sexual preferences, and even the color of their skin. It's amazing, honestly, how we find ways to belittle each other, to make other people irrelevant based on superficial traits. The only real difference between us currently and the humans in the Mega Man franchise is that we don't have our own sentient creations to push around. But when we do, I'm not sure I'll blame them when they decide to rebel. But fortunately, we've got a little while until then, and maybe it'll be enough time for the sensibilities of mankind to evolve. Probably not. Most definitely not.